Ready to say that Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga, is easily the strangest film I will see in all of 2020. And I went to Sundance and saw some really weird stuff. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new movie review. My name is Zach, and if you guys are new here and you guys enjoy early movie reviews all the time, hit that like and subscribe button. Helps the algorithm, helps me, and you guys get tons of content like this over here on a daily basis, as well as comment down below. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys excited for this movie? Are you not? Let's discuss it. Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga, which is one of the weirdest titles, and probably one of the longest titles. I'm not going to call it that. I'm going to call it Eurovision Song Contest. Is about when inspiring musicians Lars and Sigrid are given the opportunity to represent their country at the world's biggest song competition. They finally have a chance to prove that any dream worth having is a dream worth fighting for. Like I already stated, this is probably going to be the weirdest film I've had to talk about in 2020. And it's tough to talk about because there are many things in this film that I thought were a complete disaster. But there are also many things that I actually thought worked really well. And it's kind of an odd mixed match of stuff where it kind of doesn't come about to be a mixed bag of some sorts, which it kind of will sound like in this review. But I weirdly enjoyed this movie, and I don't know why. I really just do not know why, because for me, I don't think the comedy worked that well. I thought this film was kind of unfunny for majority of it, but it was weirdly still entertaining to see how strange and weird this film can get. And, you know, I'm not into the Eurovision stuff. I'm not into these giant song competitions, and I think this film will find its audience through people like that who appreciate those more than I do. And I think people who like those so much will actually find a lot of fun elements in this film. And I also think it's more of a parody on those, and maybe it just wasn't made for me. But again, I think there will be an audience for this film that will find a lot of the jokes funny and hilarious and how they worked out. And for me, yes, there were some funny bits in here, but I thought the best element of this was how strange and weird they truly went, because this is actually like Will Ferrell's passion project. This dude has been trying to make this film for such a long time. He wrote the film as well. He stars in the film alongside Rachel McAdams, Pierce Brosnan, and of course Dan Stevens. And again, this is a stacked cast. This is a film that I was kind of looking forward to, and it's not the best film. It's also not the worst. Maybe. I mean, depending on who you speak to, this is, again, a weird movie. But the point of a comedy for me, it's either to make me laugh or keep me entertained, and Eurovision kept me entertained, even though it was way too long. It was 2 hours and 3 minutes, and definitely didn't need to be. First off, let's just start with the main thing I want to talk about, and that's the performances. And I actually think this is kind of where some of the stuff stems from when it comes down to my nitpicks and my cons. Number one pro, Rachel flippin' McAdams is incredible in this. And I think this girl is an Oscar caliber actress, done great comedic work, especially most notably Game Night in the last couple of years. She was great in there and does such a phenomenal job in Game Night. I was really looking forward to what she was going to be able to do inside this film. And again, she does a fairly decent job. I thought she was really good, but I think what works so well in her is that she really nails the dramatic moments with the comedic moments. But when we come down to her duo in here, Will Ferrell, he's a good dramatic actor. And he's a great comedic actor. He hasn't hit his strides lately. Honestly, he's probably since Step Brothers. And for me, I think he didn't work in here. I think he's decent, but when it gets to the dramatic moments, he's just overplaying in it. It doesn't feel right, and that kind of is what gets down. And maybe you can look at David Dobkin, the director of this, to kind of nail down where the issues really started, but I think this film has a complete tonal issue, that it really just doesn't nail what's right and what's wrong. Does it want to be a drama? Does it want to be a comedy? Does it want to be a straight up spoof and a parody? It never gets what it wants to be right down to the straight level of it. And I think this film could have actually really worked if it was in the vein of, say, an Eddie the Eagle, or even a pop star type, like if they wanted to go that parody route of a thing like that. It just never got down what it wanted to be, and I think that's where this film sorely missed its biggest mark. And again, I like Will Ferrell, but I actually feel like he was a little bit miscasted in here. I would have liked someone else taking on that role, and I think it would have nailed even the drama harder and the comedic bits a little bit more. It's cool that he was so involved in this film, and it's really cool to see the passion finally coming behind the screen, but I think when it came, I think he should have stayed behind the screen instead of in front. Speaking of also on the supporting cast, Pierce Brosnan he's very cliched role in here. He's playing the father who does not approve of what they are doing, but he's pretty good in here. And Dan Stevens, though, I mean, I love Dan Stevens. He very much overplayed his role in The Call of the Wild this year. I was very nervous about that. but he actually did it perfectly in line with what his character was supposed to be in this film, and I thought he did such a great job in here. It's kind of in the same line as what Rachel McAdams' character was as well. Speaking of why did this film keep me so entertained, and why is it so strange? It's hard to speak about this film without really getting into spoilers and giving away some of the best parts about this, but for me, this film was so strange and entertaining because of some of the musical moments. The musical choices are absolutely hilarious, and I think the funny comedic songs, one about a ding-dong, is absolutely some of the best parts about this film and the way that it plays out, and those are the moments that I was laughing hysterically, and those are the things I actually wish it would have touched on a little bit more. And then there are some songs in here that are actually very dramatic, that work very well and fit into the tone of this film, and again, the music is one of the strongest parts about this, and also some of the parts that kept me the most entertained. It's very interesting how they got all that to work. It went through and worked in the very end. As well, some of the running jokes in here, some running jokes can get a little bit old, but I actually felt in Eurovision, this one, they actually worked really well. There's one about trolls that, again, it's very strange and very weird, but plays off in a very nice way. And I don't know how Iceland is and how a lot of the mythology and culture all works out there, but I felt like I was a part of them. I felt like I was living in this small town that they come from, and that I can understand where their culture is coming from in such a small city. And I really appreciated that. I think the culture of bringing everyone so much together was actually very involving, and I really enjoyed that entertaining value of how they brought that together in Eurovision. Such a strange film that I don't understand how this got made, but it did. And it's just one piece of entertainment that I won't be soon forgetting. I'll give you guys my final thoughts on Eurovision. Make sure to comment down below. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys excited for this film? Are you not? Let's discuss it down below, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. Helps me on the algorithm, as well as helps you guys get onto all sorts of geeky goody stuff over here on this channel. Head on over to Sandwich on Films on how to see films early. Of course, just a big thing into you and a big thing into my Patreon supporters, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga is not that bad. It's just very strange and weird. I enjoyed it, but this is not a great film. This is one that has like a lot of issues, ones that I will not be soon forgetting, and a lot that I'm actually kind of weirdly fascinated with. The performances in here are good, and I think really Will Ferrell is the only miscasted performance in here. I think he does a fine job, but I just think someone else could have done better in that role. Rachel McAdams, Dan Stevens, great. Pierce Brosnan, surprising, cliche. This film's totally cliche. This is, you know, a sports film that doesn't know what it wants to be. Does it want to be a comedy? Does it want to be a drama? Does it want to be a parody? What does it want to be? I can't tell you. But it's a weirdly entertaining movie that gets so many weird things down, and I wish I could just do a full spoiler video on this, because I think there's a lot of spoiler stuff to talk about in here with the running jokes and with some of the weird things that happen inside this film. But it's one that takes risks, not in the type of risks that you want them to take, but one that is definitely so unique to itself that I don't think I'll be forgetting this film. Well, that's it. I'm going to give Euro Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga, a C. Thank you guys again so much for clicking on this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. And of course, until next time, stay classy.